This program is brought to you by Harvey Norman. Hurry, store-wide Black Friday sale on now.
Bendigo Heritage Attractions. They are the ones that help us out when it comes to the trams and history of the Central Deborah Gold Mine. Now, the Shine Awards is this awesome thing that has been happening now for the best part of, I think, 7 years now. And it's our dear friends at Harvey Norman getting together with the Weekly Times, finding and celebrating women in regional Australia. Here's just some of those who deserve your attention. The Shine Awards make us proud to be Australian. Since 2017, the Shine Awards, presented by the Weekly Times and our friends at Harvey Norman, have been celebrating incredible women in our regions who make a difference in their communities. These awards look at a nominee's courage, dedication, passion, belief, spirit and grace to celebrate what makes our country great. So who are these wonderful women? Well, along with many others, these are just some of those that have been highlighted this year. Mayson-Kinder is nominated for her courage. She took great personal tragedy and turned it into something to help others. After the tragic loss of her 12-year-old daughter Billy, Danny channeled her grief into establishing the Be Kinder Foundation.
There was something about Billy, and you know, my dad always used to say that Billy, she was an old soul, you know, maybe she'd been here before. She just got people. She was really kind, really empathetic. She'd actually just got a scholarship to high school based on her writing ability, and she used to write poems and stories and forever had a book in her hand. And she'd often come to me and her dad and say, you know, I'd like to write a book, what shall I write about? So as you can imagine, after Billy died, it became a really big thing that she hadn't written her book. So we collected up all her poems and stories and her artworks, and we put them into a beautiful book which is called Hope. Hope was a keepsake for the family and a memory, and then what happened was we ended up selling over 8,000 copies, and then what happened was we had parents and people coming back to us saying that Billy's words had instigated conversations with their children that they didn't normally have.
The Be Kinder Foundation makes interactive wellbeing programs and workbooks using Billy's writings, helping children, especially in rural areas, cope with the challenges of things like bullying, loneliness and mental health issues.
We want to empower and inspire children to believe that they can make a difference. And, you know, same with Billy. She's a 12-year-old schoolgirl just like them, and if Billy can make a difference, so can they. One little boy, he was using the workbook. He was in grade 3, and I asked him if he liked it, and he said, I really like it. He said, because every time we use it, then when we go in the playground, everyone is nice to each other.
Katrina Ogden is another fantastic example to all of us. She's nominated for her dedication. Katrina has been organising fundraisers through the Shearing for Kids with Cancer event for 10 years now.
It originally started back in 2014. One of our local families, their young daughter, who was 3 at the time, Laurie, she was diagnosed with a tumour on her kidney, so and some spots in her lungs. So Laurie's auntie decided to do a fundraising event down there to raise some money, and my husband, along with some other shearers, decided to put their hands up for a day of shearing. And one of the local farmers here, Bill Barlow, brought the day, and it went from there. So then we started a little one there, and it's obviously just got bigger and bigger and bigger every year. We have raised a lot of money. We probably nearly raised probably closer to $600,000.
Kylie Dennis is nominated for her passion. With 14 years' experience as a police officer, Kylie uses her skills to identify and expose scammers. This makes sure that vulnerable Australians are not losing their hard-earned savings to these online predators.
In 2023, I received a phone call from my mum, and she had indicated that she was dating somebody, and I sort of looked at that photo and thought there was something sort of not right there, and so I did a bit of an investigation. I found out that she was actually a victim of a romance scam, and then I started looking into it and sort of realised that there was so much out there. I went online dating myself and created a fake profile, and then I identified that there were so many fake profiles within that online dating platform that I didn't think that anyone else was doing it. So then I went, well, what can I do to help victims and victims' families? So I created Two-Face Investigations.
It's a lot of work, but for Kylie, it's worth it because she's helping people.
It's okay to admit that you've been a victim of a scam. Let's talk about it. You know, make the phone call. In 5 minutes, we can have a chat about it. And that's sort of trying to continually educate. People are still at home not wanting to admit to the fact that maybe they could be a victim of a scam. So tomorrow is, how do I get those people to ring me? So it's just that continual, it's like just building a wall. I just put one more brick down, one more brick down.
There are so many strong and powerful women in our regions. The Shine Awards is the perfect way to showcase them and share their inspiring stories to the next generation of women who will lead the world.
I say to anyone, grab a notepad, write everything down, and what's in your belly will be successful. Just keep going. If you've got that passion, you won't stop.
If using Billy's words and Billy's way of being, I can save one child, then I guess that's everything.
To keep going, I suppose, until we're not allowed to do it anymore. We really enjoy it. It is a lot of work to put for the day, but we all love it, and it's a great day.
Change starts with us, and I think we all can and we all should be the solution. And these mental health statistics, it doesn't have to be this way. You know, if we all were a little kinder, spoke with more kindness, and actually acted and role modelled with kindness and empathy and compassion, I think our younger generation would have a better chance at, you know, dealing with the world as it is today.
Every one of them is spectacular. Every one of them is about to be honoured. Penny Fowler is the boss of the Weekly Times, and she, along with our dear friend Katie Page and the good people of Harvey Norman, help judge who win the awards each and every year. And I'm pleased to say the wonderful Penny Fowler joins us now. Penny, can you believe 8 years since you and Katie Page got together with this fabulous idea to celebrate the women of regional Australia? Lovely to see you, and congratulations on the awards going into their 8th year.
Thank you so much, Paul. It's really lovely to see you too. I cannot believe 8 years. It's gone by so quickly. The Weekly Times and Harvey Norman, when Katie and I first got together and thought, well, what can we do to shine a light on rural and regional women around Australia? And I think it's been going 8 years. We've shone a light on, you know, over 1,000 women from all over. And every year we just have these amazing stories about these amazing women who are making a difference in their communities.
What do you think sets the awards apart from others, particularly its focus, I suppose, on rural women? But what sets it apart?
Well, I really feel a lot of these women are the unsung heroes of their communities. I think, you know, women are not necessarily recognised as much in rural and remote communities and regional communities, and I feel that they're always doing these amazing things behind the scenes, or they're overcoming adversity or tragedy, and they go through so much. And I think often in these communities, you know, around regional Australia and rural Australia, women are the backbones of the communities, and they're sort of the silent achievers in some way. So I just think this has sort of really unearthed the whole of these amazing women and their stories, and what they're doing to make a difference. So I think that's what makes it different. And I also think utilising, you know, the Weekly Times, that national footprint, with the help of the Australian and all of our news mastheads, to amplify all these stories, and then to have Harvey Norman and, you know, Katie, who's an amazing promoter and supporter of women, and tell stories throughout the communities. I think it's really nice. And I also love the categories that we have. I think that's sort of unique too. You know, we've got grace, belief, courage, passion, dedication. And for the last 4 years, we've had a youth winner. And some of these young people and things they're doing is incredible too.
Yeah, they're both inspiring and frightening at the same time, because this next wave of people coming through, they are, you know, 10 foot tall and stronger and more confident than many of us would ever have dreamed of being. Give me an idea about some of the criteria that goes into this, because as always, the list is so impressive. This year, no different. What are some of the criteria about who you decide to recognise?
Well, I think what happens is we have a really amazing team at the Weekly Times who go out and get nominations, and we actually amplify that all around, including you. Thank you, Paul, and your show, Sky News, The Australian. And then they're under those different categories. And so what happens is people nominate and send in stories, and we go out and uncover the stories. And then we have a judging panel, and we sit around and we go through all these, and we try and work out, look, to be honest, they're all winners in my mind. All the finalists are winners. All the people are amazing. And so it's really difficult to sort out and actually work out who's the overall winner. And so we just go down, and if you look at, I think, some of the stories about people overcoming adversity, people whose children have died and they've gone on to make a difference. People who, you know, like Sharon, our winner last year, she overcame adversity and she's got her own Indigenous food business. I mean, she's incredible. Emily Riggs from South Australia, the year before, you know, she was a young girl who lost her mother and she's got her own wool brand. So I think what the criteria, there's no set criteria, I don't think, but it is people and women who are making a difference. But it's also, you know, people who are making great successes in rural communities and regional communities in their businesses. So I think it's recognising these outstanding achievements of theirs.
What would be something that all of these women have in common? What's something that you would suggest is the commonality amongst all of the people who are up and about?
All the people up and about, I think all these women, well, I think they're all inspiring. I all think most of them, in fact, all of them that I've come across or had the pleasure of meeting are very humble and very gracious and they're just really devoted people. They're devoted to their families, and if they don't have their families, to their work, to their communities. And I really feel that that makes them different. So, I mean, obviously the other thing they all have in common is they're women. So I think...
The future is female, don't worry, I've got two daughters, you know it, go, fight, all of that.
Yes. So I sort of feel like that's sort of a bit of, you know, but it is that in all these stories, and they always have these amazing stories too, I think. Yeah. And so whether they're, you know, working for the Royal Flying Doctor Service, or they're starting their own business, or they're overcoming tragedy. And if you think of all the things that have been going on around the fires, the floods, all the natural disasters we've had over the last years too, I think these people, I just think they're really, naturally, their instinct is to give back to their communities and make a difference.
You mentioned that there's, you know, it's impossible, obviously, for everyone to end up as the ultimate winner, but all of them are winners for their recognition, but more importantly for what they do in their lives. What do you think the rest of us can take from these women's achievements? What's the sort of stuff that we should be learning from what these women are doing?
Well, I really feel what we should be learning is everyone can make a difference in whatever way they can. And so, you know, there's a lot of people who, I think in life, giving back into your community, being part of your local community, helping others is something that we can all learn from all these women. And these women are exceptional and their stories are inspiring, but so are so many people's stories. And I think that it's just that being involved in your local community and really trying and giving back to your local community. I think particularly in rural and regional Australia, you know, we sometimes, they don't get as much attention as they should. And so I feel like that's sort of what the real learning is for everybody. There are so many amazing people, and you can do whatever you do, whatever little bit you do to give back, I think really makes a difference.
Bloody oath. Penny, thank you so much. I love you. All the best for the holiday period. Congratulations to you, everyone at the Weekly Times. Of course, Katie Page and everyone at Harvey Norman. I love the Shine Awards. All the best, mate. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much, Paul.
All the best to Penny, to Katie, to their respective teams. Thank you so much to Harvey Norman. Of course, the reason we're able to celebrate all the different parts of the country is because of their support. Thank you to everyone who deals with us in these shows over at Harvey Norman. Thank you for supporting that wonderful Australian institution as well.